Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening. Concerns Tasmania's public transport operator could be sold off have been hosed down, even as reliability woes continue. Unions and the oppositions are not satisfied, saying the Metro is being cut to the bone.
Fed up with the lack of safety, Metro bus drivers say improvements are needed now.
I'm having conversations very regularly with drivers who feel scared because they're out there every day exposed.
180 routes were chopped last week due to recruitment and retention woes. The Rail, Tram and Bus Union says there's still been up to 20 cancellations some days. They're calling for action on safety screens for drivers and for transit officers to be given improved powers.
No, they're not unreasonable at all. In fact, they're needed, and they've been needed for a long time.
It's got the backing of Labor, who says Transport Minister Michael Ferguson has thrown Metro under the bus.
He is doing nothing to assist Metro to become more reliable and to make the workplace a place where Metro drivers feel valued at work.
We'll continue to invest what we have to ensure we've got the workforce needed.
Despite assurances from the Minister that Metro will remain in public hands, the Mechanics Union says that the stripping back of services is all part of a play to sell it off.
What then occurs is that they try and hoodwink the public into thinking that the public asset needs to be sold.
Operator Kinetic has bought several smaller bus companies in Tasmania, including Redline, O'Driscoll and Merseylink.
What we need to do is ensure that public assets stay in public hands.
Firmly shut down again today.
Is the government going to privatise Metro?
No.
Kinetic was contacted for comment. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor has been accused of wasting the Parliament's time with yesterday's motion to send Guy Barnett to the Privileges Committee. The powerful parliamentary oversight body will now examine the Energy Minister's claim he couldn't provide cost estimates for Marinus Link and other projects due to confidentiality agreements.
What we've seen this week is this issue has been a distraction from the important business of government, the things that Tasmanians think are important.
The government itself has been accused of stalling as well, failing to debate the electoral donations bill in the upper house for another week.
This is the government's own bill. What divisions are happening within the government for them not to want to progress this now?
Both houses sit again from next Tuesday. Tasmanian aged care workers have been paid back millions of dollars following a Southern Cross Care payroll bungle. The state's largest aged care provider has signed an undertaking with the Fair Work Ombudsman after self-reporting the issue in 2021. Close to $7 million is being reimbursed to impacted staff members, with the largest payment in excess of $220,000. Southern Cross Care Tasmania Acting Chair Judith Fishlock has apologised for the underpayments, saying it has backpaid all current employees and as many former workers as the organisation was able to contact. Under the agreement, all staff must be backpaid by the end of this month. Dozens of Tasmanian school students have been given a crash course on what can go wrong behind the wheel of a car. Rotary's Youth Driver Awareness program is aimed at providing the next generation of drivers the key to success and helping reduce our road toll.
This dummy might not be human, but it shows what happens if a person is collected by a reckless driver.
This is live, and this is what demonstrates what actually happens. It's not any scary nonsense, it's reality.
Rotary's Driver Awareness program making a pit stop in Claremont today. It targets high school students on the cusp of getting their licence.
In 5 hours, the students learn so much here that couldn't be taught to them by a driving instructor.
I think it's been a really good experience, and it's really important that we learn this sort of stuff.
This module focusing on speed, driving home the difference a few kilometres can make. The programme hiding nothing, with students also hearing from those injured in a car accident. Being a responsible passenger also a major focus.
You've got the power as a passenger to advise if you're not comfortable with the driving.
You should speak up, because if you tell them to slow down, you could save your life and theirs.
Rotary estimates 70,000 students have participated in the programme since 2006. At a time where our road toll is under growing scrutiny, organisers say the lessons learned will be critical.
A time of life we need to prepare them for, because it's some of the months and years of their life when they're at greatest risk.
The message getting through loud and clear.
Get a better understanding of, well, road conditions, road rules, what can happen.
I wasn't aware of all the damage that can be done.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
And even more students are preparing to take off, reaching for a career in the cloud. Launceston Church Grammar School's hosting its In the Air Aviation Conference with the Tasmanian Aviation Historical Society. The seminar celebrates the school's rich aviation history and opens students to the range of possibilities within the sector.
So important because aviation has got so many professions within the profession, so we're hoping that we'll inspire them.
Plenty of ways to enter the aviation industry from what I've seen, from being a doctor or an air hostess.
Organisers believe the event will inspire the next generation of pioneering pilots. 7 Tasmanians will have their coaching ambitions kick-started through the Tasmanian Institute of Sport. They've secured funding through the Institute's Coaching Centre Scholarship, the year-long program looking to prepare them for a career in professional sport, teaching them skills that go beyond match day.
A lot around the welfare and the education of athletes these days, so this opportunity will increase and enhance their knowledge in those spaces.
I've learnt a lot about dealing with a lot of other people's emotions, so everyone reacts differently, and it's one of those things that I've had to learn on the job.
The recipients hail from 5 different sports from around the state. The AFL Premiership Cup is nearing the end of its tour of Tasmania before heading back to its destination, the MCG. The prized silverware making a special stop in the north of the state, with a local hero returning to his former home ground.
Back at his old stomping ground.
It's been great to get back to Tassie and bring the cup down here.
The former North Launceston bomber turned Richmond co-captain returning to his roots. Toby Nankervis stepping back onto home turf, this time with the AFL Premiership Cup in hand.
There's a real buzz around the footy community at the moment, obviously with a new team coming and footy finals, so it's great to be back.
It's something he could never have imagined as a young player.
Been so lucky so far in my career and hopefully a little bit left, but yeah, I'm very thankful for what North Launceston and Georgetown Footy Club have done for me.
Toby and the Cup have spent the week visiting schools, sporting clubs and communities across the state, with a Tasmanian icon of differing proportions having its own devil of a meeting.
Something I've never seen before, and yeah, I suppose they can aspire to maybe get it one day.
The tour hoping to inspire the next generation to one day raise the cup in Tassie colours.
I personally know how passionate footy state Tassie is, so it's great Tassie had its own team now to really get behind and support.
The 3-time premiership player no stranger to grand final glory.
Yeah, so special and it can never be taken away, so I think they have some great memories that will last forever, I think.
A feeling to be shared at UTAS Stadium tomorrow. The Premiership Cup making its last Tassie stop as an added draw card at the NTFA finals. Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
Well, spring has officially sprung with Hobart's first floral show of the season. The Horticultural Society is celebrating its 185th year with a bumper number of crops to mark the occasion.
It's a floral feast for the eyes and nose. Hobart's early spring show perfectly summed up in one word.
Beautiful.
Around 25 green thumbs entered their best blooms, from camellias and daffodils to pot plants and cut flowers.
I grow what I like for my enjoyment in the garden. So they're not sheltered, they're out in the open. And I look after them, and when it comes showtime I'll go around and pick the best ones.
We have a real mix of people, particularly now we're getting some new people exhibiting. It's lovely to get some young people come along.
Several expert judges deciding which petals are prize-worthy.
It's always good when you're meeting people who've got the same passion that you have, so you get different ideas from different people.
Hobart's town hall buzzing with admirers.
I'm a gardener by trade, and this is just lovely.
There's things you'll never see anywhere else. Like, you can drive past plenty of suburban homes and you won't see too many of some of the things they grow here.
The exhibition made even more special, with Hobart's Horticultural Society celebrating its 185th year.
The first show was all males. There was no ladies exhibiting.
Everyone now welcome to stop and smell the flowers, with the event running again tomorrow from 10 to 4. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Local conservationists have criticised the Albanese government's swift parrot recovery plan, intended to reverse the species decline with a $1.3 million investment. They say, however, the endangered birds won't have a fair shot at survival as long as industrial logging is prioritised.
We have this massive exemption where the forestry industry does not have to abide by national environmental laws. They don't have to take any action on the swift parrot, and they're just left to their own devices.
Meanwhile, Greens Senator Peter Whish-Wilson is seeing red following the Federal Environment Minister's announcement of $2.1 million for a Maugean skate insurance population.
Even if we can successfully breed a skate, which hasn't been done before, even if we can do that, how are we going to reintroduce it back into the only body of water where we know it's existed for millions of years, Macquarie Harbour?
He fears high temperatures this summer could spell the end of the species.
Super Sunday for the SFLW is just days away, with all 3 grand finals taking place. The Division 1 clash will make history either way. North Hobart is looking to go back-to-back, while a Kingborough win would secure the team's first ever premiership.
The team is really up and about. Everyone at the club is behind us. So, yeah, we've just got to pull one more game for the season.
We know that it's going to be a strong, contested, hot contest, so we're preparing for that.
Lauderdale and Claremont face off in the Division 2 match, while in Division 3 the Dodgers Ferry Sharks are looking to win a flag in their inaugural season against St Virgil's. It's also a big weekend for the Sharks men's side, who will face Cygnet in tomorrow's preliminary final. Dodgers are in hot form, defeating Brighton and last year's Premier Lindisfarne in the past fortnight. After an inconsistent start to the season, their coach says the team has clicked in time for finals.
More or less just happy that thinking what would happen has started to happen, and we have started to gel at the right time of the year.
They had a bit of a low start at the season, but they're coming right at the end, so yeah, they're very dangerous.
The winner will face minor Premier Huonville in the grand final. Caleb Jewell has done his future Test selection prospects no harm, scoring a quick-fire century for Australia A against New Zealand A last night. The Tasmanian was in scintillating form despite his teammates falling around him. Scoring boundaries at a rapid rate, the opener brought up his 100 in just 120 balls.
The Jewell, and one hand off the bat, he goes big, it'll land safely. Fortune favours the brave.
17 fours and 2 sixes, helping Jewell to 131 from 169 deliveries. His knock wasn't enough. The Aussies went down by 68 runs. And Tasmanian rowers have a shot at success in the World Championships in Serbia. Sarah Hoare and her crew finished third in their Coxless 4 semi-final. She'll compete for gold tomorrow night. Anika Reardon won her lightweight double sculls race, qualifying for the C final, while Henry Yule finished 6th in the men's quad sculls semi and will line up in the B final.
Good evening. 16 the top for Hobart today, Launceston 12, Devonport reached 13, 14 the high for Burnie. Friendly Beaches, the Friday top at 18, 15 for St Helens, 14 for Strawn, Flinders Island and Smithton. King Island and Low Head both 13. Laiwini dropping down to 2 degrees before warming up to a top of 6. Plenty of rain around the north, with thick cloud covering the west of the state, some low-level cloud around the east. Thunderstorms along the Queensland coastline and off the New South Wales coast. A high-level cloud band lies over the Tasman Sea, mostly clear elsewhere. Tomorrow, a large high over Adelaide will dominate much of the country's weather, with some rain heading Tasmania's way, while a cold front approaches southwest WA. West to southwesterly winds reaching up to 40 knots, easing to around 20 knots around the west in the morning. Swells up to 6 metres in the west and the south. And with that, a gale wind warning has been issued for most Tasmanian waters, with a strong wind warning for the upper east coast. And there's a severe weather alert for damaging winds on King Island. A sheep graziers alert for the northwest coast, Midlands, Upper Derwent Valley and southeast districts. Wet across the south tomorrow. Hobart a shower or 2 and 13. Maydena 9 with showers and wind easing. 10 the top for Oatlands. Launceston partly cloudy and 14. 13 in Devonport. Some snow showers for Lyowini. 13 and partly cloudy in Burnie. Strawn a very high chance of showers. And 13 in Marrawar. A bit of cloud along the east coast. St Helens 15. 14 for Swansea. Orford 13. Showers about the west and far south on Sunday. More showers for the west and far south on Monday, fine elsewhere. And Tuesday, showers mainly about the west. Sunny in Brisbane and Sydney tomorrow. A possible shower for Melbourne and sunny and 33 for Broome. Bit of cloud hanging around at the moment. Hobart 12, Launceston and Devonport both 9. And if you're seeing being awfully quiet tonight, there must be a big match coming up.
Oh, gee, Victoria, I am right on edge. They're not favoured to win the Swans, but let's go the underdog. Time to watch some football. I'll be back later with updates, hopefully with a smile on the face. Thanks for joining us. Good night.